Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing some tips on how to have a great shopping experience on Poshmark. If you're new here, I'm a cheapskate with an interest in sustainable style and a passion for helping you take your life more smoothly in whatever direction you want it to go. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll share a special deal that I found when I was hunting around, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear more of those crazy special deals that I happen to find, where there's like a ton of something at a great price. I love shopping on Poshmark. You have to go into it knowing that you are shopping with very little buyer protection, so you have to be very careful about what you buy because you can only get your money back if the seller either doesn't send it to you or it's really not as described when you get it. So you really have to be careful about what you buy, but there's such great deals, it's hard to pass up shopping there at all. So I made a list of 5 tips so you can learn from my mistakes. Tip number 1 sounds so obvious. Read the description. No one does it. I think I mentioned in an earlier video, I bought a pair of leggings that I swore were navy blue because in the picture they looked navy blue. In the description, she said they were black. I don't know why I thought they were navy blue. And I've been selling on Etsy for ages, and I can tell you, most of the questions that I get, I'm like, is there a polite way to say, hey, did y'all read the description? Because it's in there. But one thing you definitely want to look for in the description is measurements. Recently got burned because I have a pair of AG the Stilt jeans, which are like a hair too big in a size 6, and I bought them in a different color. I mean, they were crazy light purple, which is apparently a different fabric and a different cut, because I bought them in a size 4, and when I got them, I can't even zip them up. It's a good thing my daughter is smaller than me and she agreed to take them. Real quick, I wanted to show you the jeans that I had that are 28s. I had plenty of room. So I was thinking, how could it be a problem to size down? Let me hold them up together. It only looks like about an inch difference, but you have to double that. And I can't zip these to save my life. So given the lack of a return policy on Poshmark, I recommend sticking with things that are either very stretchy, tops that are flexible, or pieces that you're 100% certain that you know are going to fit. That was a surprise to me. Good thing my daughter likes purple pants. So definitely look for measurements, which brings me to our second tip. Comment on the item you're interested in with any questions. And if you don't have a question, make one up. Not only does it help you get the information that you're looking for, it lets you know some sellers will respond super quickly to questions and maybe take a couple days to ship, but usually it will let you know, like, I'm not accidentally giving my money to someone who just still has Poshmark listings but isn't really selling anymore, and I had that happen recently. If you make a comment, then you can tell by their response kind of how they are, how interested they are in selling the item. You'll get a feel for it, so it's really good, and also helps you and helps anyone else who's interested. If they don't give the measurements, it gets you the measurements. One measurement that I ask for all the time is rise. And be specific, because sometimes I had a pair of leggings I bought that said they had a 3-inch rise. No leggings have a 3-inch rise. That would be public nudity. I mean, so the rise is from the seam of the crotch to the front waist, the top of the waistband, and then the back. Because if you only have a waist measurement, your width is different depending on how low down the waistband goes. If you get a measurement on an item and you're not sure about it, first of all, you can ask how stretchy it is, because that makes a difference, and then take a piece of clothing that you have that you know fits, measure it, see how it lines up, and that will help you decide whether or not that might fit you. Everything in the description looks good. She's answered your question in a timely manner, seems like a polite human being. Go check out the seller. It's obviously perfect, and I'll list some sellers that I know below. It's perfect if you kind of know the seller. There are a few people on YouTube here that also sell some of their clothing on Poshmark, and there's just a level of trust with them, because if their Poshmark is connected to their public profile, they don't want to be doing anything that they wouldn't want to do in public. So it's really great if it's someone that you know. That's like your absolute ideal scenario. But barring that, you can go ahead, just click on their name, look at their closet, kind of you can see how much they've sold, You can see the kinds of things they're buying. You can kind of also look, it doesn't matter to me one way or another. You can tell, oh, is this person selling pretty much the same size range and brand types of items? Are they selling their own stuff? Are they reselling? Doesn't matter to me either way, but you can kind of tell that from their profile, from their page as you're looking at the items that they have sold and the items that they're still offering. Poshmark kind of auto-generates your profile for you, so what they say about themselves doesn't matter that much, though probably what anybody says about themselves is not that helpful. But what you can look at is their love notes, which is feedback that they have given other sellers and received from other sellers, and you can really get a sense of what kind of person they are to deal with from looking at their feedback, especially the feedback that they've gotten from previous buyers. You can take a chance on a new seller, absolutely do once in a while. Know you're taking a chance. So those are ways that you can definitely be a little more confident that your seller takes this seriously and will be selling your item in a timely fashion and packed nicely and all the wonderful things that most sellers do on Poshmark. Just some of them don't. Once I've decided that the seller checks out, I can also research the item that they're selling off of Poshmark. So especially if you know the name of the item, you can Google that. A lot of times you can find out the pricing. That gives you a sense, like, if this is selling, if it's still selling for new, and especially if it's like an older item that's selling on the second market for half the price it originally was, even if it's new with tags, or they're selling you something that's not new with tags for the same price that you could get new with tags somewhere else, that's good information to have about the pricing. Also gives you a sense of, if I really want this specific item, is it available somewhere else? That's good to know. If you get to the manufacturer or the retailer's website, you'll get more details on the item than maybe the Poshmark seller was giving you, and more photos, get a little more of a sense of it, and sometimes you'll even get reviews. So you can really find out a lot about an item before you put in an offer. Once you're pretty sure you want this item, I'm going to share my little buying formula with you, which will help you slow down. If it's meant to be yours, it will still be there. Before you make an offer, like the item. That way you'll be able to find it again. The seller knows you're interested. If she's really interested in selling it, she may go ahead and make an offer to you. You can decide if you like that offer. I tend to take people's offers as long as they're a good discount off of their listed price. I think the seller feels happier. I could be wrong. I feel like counter offering $2 lower, it's kind of insulting. I probably just evaluate their offer and decide whether or not that's good for me, but you can decide for yourself. If the seller doesn't make an offer, or if the offer expires, because they're only good for 24 hours, and maybe they made the offer but you weren't ready to make the purchase yet, or you're waiting back to see on several different items, and so you can make an offer again. You can either match what the seller offered in the past, or, you know, I feel like the range of 20 to 30% off the listing price is usually pretty reasonable. Most sellers are happy to take it. I kind of want to make sure that everyone's happy in the transaction. So that seems to be working well for me. There's so much to buy though. I have to slow down. My bonus tip for you is that once your purchase arrives, leave feedback for the seller. It not only helps the seller, builds your relationship with that seller if you're going to buy from that particular person in the future, it gives you good karma, I would say. It also is visible to other future sellers that you might want to be purchasing from. And if, I think probably only newer sellers would do this, but if they do decide that they have time to go check you out and decide whether or not they want to take your offer, they're probably more amenable to it if you're a person who leaves lovely feedback, because we all like that. So my extra little bonus tip, sometimes you can find, especially an item that's been in a subscription box, people buy those subscription boxes and they're like, oh, the things I won't want to keep, I'm going to sell on Poshmark. And sometimes you can just get a glut of a particular item. I'm going to be doing some videos about specific item categories and maybe some specific techniques. So definitely let me know in the comments what you would love to see me delve in deeper on future videos. So when I was looking at activewear online, which I do anyway, but kind of to prepare for a video, I looked up Spiritual Gangster, and a couple months ago, they had a kimono in the FabFitFun box, and there are dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds. I can't tell exactly how many there are. When there are that many, you can sort by price, low to high, just like all the cheapest ones, and see if anybody gets back to you, or offer them 20% below the listing price. See what they'll take, because if you happened to really like that kimono, and I'll put a picture somewhere, it's cute. If you happen to have not gotten the FabFitFun box but think, oh, I would love to have that kimono, that's one you can have really cheaply. If you enjoyed this video, click subscribe below. See you soon.